Going on, everyone? Last year, the Lakers were abysmal, to put it nicely, right? I mean, their roster just wasn't up to par. They only ended up winning 33 games. The team looked old. They couldn't stop anybody. I mean, they didn't really have problems scoring. They did put up 114 points per game, but just really couldn't defend. Injuries were a big issue. Russ and that whole, mess and drama, the fit, stuff like that. Frank Vogel didn't really seem to have anybody understanding roles or any definitive lineups or just play calling or just changing. It was an absolute disaster last year. Let's put it that way, right? This season looks a little more promising, right? We're younger. Last year, we were top 5 in fast break points as well as top 5 in pace. And if we were that with that old team, what are we going to be with this team, right? We should be much better defensively. Got a new coach, new culture, new atmosphere, new environment, new everything. LeBron and Anthony Davis hopefully are more healthier this year. Russ, hopefully he can fit in and buy in. There's a lot to be excited for, a lot of promise this upcoming season. But nonetheless, ESPN has their rankings out and has their win totals and projections. And when it comes to the Lakers, they have the Lakers only winning 36 games this season. Now, here's the thing. ESPN has been not the best model of consistency and just like things to, compare to. They're wrong usually more times than not. And I mean, just in general, I'm not even talking about in predictions towards the Lakers. I mean, some of the if you go look at the entire prediction list, there are several that are just like, this makes no sense. Because the problem is the projections aren't based on like statistics or things like that. It's based on, votes and, biases and opinions from the analysts and stuff with ESPN. It's not, somebody running the data, running the numbers, doing stuff like that and going, okay, well, this team ranks, at this many wins, that many wins. It's pure biased, right? And that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that the Lakers are going to be great, but you really think this team, just right now, let's say it goes a disaster just like last year, but Anthony Davis and LeBron James are healthy. You really don't think that this team, as currently constructed, could win at least 30 or more than 3 games? Right? At least win 40 games. I'm not saying like that's like, 40 games. Like, no, but I'm saying like, come on. 36 games for a team that had arguably the worst season in the history of the franchise, only got 33 wins. You're telling me things are going to be that bad next year? I mean, if Anthony Davis and LeBron James are just healthy, they would have won more than 33 games last year. They probably would have at least made the playoffs last year. Probably going to do the same thing this year. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of teams that have improved, right? And there are a lot of questions about the Lakers roster, primarily the small forward position. Do we have enough size on the wing? Do we have enough shooting? Stuff like that. But like I've said on countless videos, if you look at comparisons even to the bubble year, we only shot 34, just under 35% from 3 the year we won the championship. LeBron teams, I even did a whole breakdown because you had Brian Windhorst talk about LeBron's teams have always had shooting. I did an entire breakdown. That is just not the case. Based on what the teams that LeBron had were on, they've never really been an elite shooting team. It's always been the defense and just pure, talent that they've had. Well, they have a lot of talent on this team. They're not going to have a problem scoring. Like last year, again, we were absolutely atrocious last year and put up 114 points per game. You don't think this year this team can put up, 100, at least the same amount, 114? And the problem was we were giving teams 120. So it's like, of course you're going to lose. We can't play, hold teams to 113, 112, something like that, to where we at least more games. I just think that this is just another, again, disrespectful. It's the Lakers. It pays more to bash and talk bad about the Lakers than it does to actually speak the truths and the facts and things like that. Whenever you say something negative, that just blows up because there's just people who love to hate the Lakers, right? People love, even this channel, right? All of the comments, and you're going to get tons of comments on this video. Watch. I guarantee you. Go, if you've made it to this point in the video, go look at the comment section and tell me how many comments there are of just people just hating. That's all this Laker channel is like half the comments are people that are giving real honest Laker fans. Sometimes it might be a little biased, stuff like that, but nonetheless, it's actual hey, this is this, Lakers support, basically. And then the other half are just people like, Lakers suck, blah, 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 because they have nothing better to do. Jealousy is an ugly color. Let's just say that. But nonetheless, I would love to see their analytics, and I'd love to see what went into this projection, because I guarantee you there wasn't any. I guarantee you what they did is they just asked all of their analytic people, they asked all their friends, their cousins, brothers, and they all said, yeah, Lakers will probably win, 36 games, 35 games, something like that this year. And it's just not taking into account the actual reality of these players. I mean, Patrick Beverley, I want you to go look up Patrick Beverley's win percentage. Based on Patrick Beverley alone, just his win percentage, we would win at least 40 plus games. With just the addition, if you took Patrick Beverley and you added Patrick Beverley to the team we had last year, say it was the exact same team and we just added Patrick Beverley, we would have at least won 40 wins last year, even with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So we should win at least 40 wins this year. I've said I think we get into the 52 to 55 range, assuming Anthony Davis and LeBron James are healthy. Like if they play at least 60 games plus together, then we're going to be in that range, which would put us at the 6th, maybe the 5 seed, somewhere around there. That's what I think will happen. Now, could we be better? Yeah, of course. Could we be worse? Yeah, sure, of course. But we're going to win more than 36 games. Unless, again, Anthony Davis misses 60 games and or just plays 30 games again, 40 games, and LeBron same thing, then yeah, maybe we don't win. Maybe we do win 36 games. But assuming everyone's healthy and plays at least a majority of the season, this team is going to at least be, worst case, pushing 50 wins. And I think that they could squeeze out easily 52 to 55 wins. You look at the numbers for all the players, you look at everything, you compare this team to the bubble team, which I've already done for you. Go check out that video. Everything says this team is going to be pretty good. Now, chemistry and just play schemes and stuff like that, people buying in, understanding the roles, there are always those things that go into it. But how can we come to a conclusion either way when we haven't even seen this team play yet? Everything out of camp has been so positive. And granted, a lot of it could just be, that Lakers camp is trying to, gold plate a turd, I guess. I was going to say something else, but it's YouTube. So maybe they're just trying to make it, seem better than it really is. But in general, like last year, you heard a lot of like the conversations were like, we're a new team. We're trying to figure it out. Like Russ, how's Russ? He's trying to, sacrifice and figure it out. This training camp, Russ has been great. Russ has been leading the charge. Russ is really butting in. He's setting the picks. He's doing this, that, and the other. So that right then and there is a big improvement. Now, will he continue to do that throughout the course of a season? I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But how do we know either way? Who knows? It's in a contract year. He's not stupid. He knows, look, if I don't do what they need me to do and I don't show that I can be a team player, I'm probably done in this league. He's not stupid. He's had people that know the way that this works explain it to him. He's had history to look at. He's had, he's had guys like Allen Iverson get completely booted out of the league when he probably had a couple years left in him because he was stubborn. He saw Melo completely, be out of the league for a couple years and be able to reinvent himself, and boom, he's not dumb. He knows he's got all these guards right behind him that are more than happy to take his minutes. Dennis Schroeder, Kendrick Nunn, even Pat Bev would gladly start over Russell Westbrook if need be. I think you're going to see a very different Russell Westbrook. Not just that, just by itself, the coaching will be better, and thus we will get more wins because that's how it works, right? And everybody will understand their roles. Go watch some of those Laker games last season. There wasn't a single player on that court that understood where they were supposed to be, what was going to happen, what were the play calls, what were the play sets. Frank Vogel just basically threw lineups out there and said, figure it out. Here you go, throw it out there, figure it out. You guys will figure it out. Don't worry. Instead of actually having structure. And we've already seen the improvements with Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham has been putting tape on the basketball court and showing when the ball's here, this is where you need to be. When it's here, this is where you need to be. This guy has the ball, you're here. people will know, these players are going to know what their roles are, where they're supposed to be at all times, what the game plan is, what the schemes are, both offensively and defensively. It's going to be just a completely different season, period. And to think that this Laker team can only win 3 more games this season, only 3 more games this season, I just think is, like, that's just pure hate. Even from an ESPN standpoint, even from an NBA, they're basically saying that this season is going to be just as bad, if not close to last season. I just don't see that being a possibility. I just don't see it. I don't. Unless half this team, knock on wood, gets injured, I don't see that. This team is going to at least win, like I said, they're going to at least win 45 to 50 games, I think, bare minimum. Because there's also, you got to keep in mind, there's a lot of teams that just aren't going to be as good as thought to be. There's going to be a lot of teams that are tanking and purposely trying to lose. So, all these teams, not just the Lakers, are going to get some free wins. You're going to have teams that are going to start pivoting and changing, coming. So, I mean, if the Lakers are at least reasonable, by the midway point of the season, then they're going to get more. They're going to at least be in the 40s. Because Lakers aren't going to be a team that's just going to decide to tank and sit LeBron and Anthony. They're going to be pushing for a playoff spot. And I just don't see how 36 wins. I just think that that's just pure disrespect and just shows the credibility of ESPN. If they would have said 43 or 45 wins, I would have said, okay, that's fair. I think they'll be better personally, but that's a fair assessment, based on this team. That's a fair assessment. Because that would at least be a play-in team. They're saying this team is not good enough to be a play-in with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's mind-blowing to me. If LeBron, I've said this before too, if we had the exact same team right now that we have, and this offseason, we went and got LeBron James and Anthony Davis added to this team, ESPN would be saying this team is the title favorites. But because of last season and the hangover and the recency bias and all that stuff, ESPN wants, it's ridiculous. It just shows the lack of real reporting, the lack of credibility, stuff like that. It's just, it's sad. It's sad that, you have these big networks that just put out these silly projections. And not, like I said, it's not even just the Lakers. Go look at some of them. Go look at some of the projections. Some of them are terrible. And not even just the win totals, just their projections in general are just so outlandish. Sometimes, what? Because there's nothing to back it up. It's literally people's opinions and thoughts and stuff like that, rather than doing the real reporting and just, hey, here's what it is. If you run the numbers and you look everything up, the Lakers should bare minimum win about 45 to 47 games, somewhere in that ballpark. That's just based on if you take all the team stats, stuff like that from, the previous year, things like that, or the last time the players played, like Kendrick Nunn's case, stuff like that. This team should be in about the 47 range as far as wins go. Now, add the LeBron James, Anthony Davis factor, add in, Russ, a better fit, add in a new coach that's going to have systems, Anthony Davis being healthy, because, again, all of the percentages and everything are based on LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing the amount of games that they played, stuff like that, everything that goes into it. So, basically, if all these players were together last season and had the exact same season they had last season, they'd be about a 47-win team. Now, LeBron James is hopefully going to play more games, and so is Anthony Davis. Russ will probably be better fit, and you have a better coach and just system in general. You're telling me that's not worth another 8 wins? So if it is, then that's where I get the 55 wins from. So this team should be around 52 to 55 wins. But anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions. And as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think this is fair? Do you think it's not? However you feel. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.